Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Anis Nisa binti Syarul Baki.
Assalamualaikum, I am Nurul Sara Najwa.
I am Emi Amira binti Baharudin.
I am Humaira binti Aminuddin.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Muhammad Fakhur Razi bin Muhammad Nizam.
Today, we are going to present about the impact of COVID-19 in the use of communication technology among the society. Digital media has been tremendously increased use by the people due to the pandemic COVID-19. Because of the restriction imposed by the government, the people are asked to reduce the social relations. Therefore, communication technology is play a vital role during this pandemic, and it brings lots of positive impact on society. It facilitates people's for continuously contacting and interacting with each other anytime and anywhere. But it also leads to the negative impact to the people as well.
The first point is technology has ability to change the higher education provision, where it can develop the higher education to be a much better in the future. This can be supported as accordance to Go and Sanders 2020, where technology acts as a thinking machine that provide information and features for learning of students by using text and voice to communicate effectively. Moreover, technology able to solve problems which help the students for their personal regulated learning, as mentioned by Jones and Castellano 2018. As example, students can get more information on their learning by finding the education channel on the internet. Besides, as according to Go and Sanders 2020, technology can reduce the time consumed for face-to-face interaction with the educators and boost the individual competence. That is mean the educators are still able to deliver the education towards the student as same as the traditional learning method. In addition, Zweifeld and Trolla 2019 mentioned that virtual technology create real learning experience that enable physical and virtual element to mix, which make it enjoyable. This is because it can replicate the real life experience and delivered through the devices.
Next, the impacts of pandemic COVID-19 in the use of communication technology among society is that working from home has evolved due to pandemic COVID-19, and this replaced the traditional methods. This can be supported by Salunke, Deshpande and Joshi 2020, which stated that people make a full use of online platforms to remain connected to one another since face-to-face meetings are not possible. Moreover, Salunke, Deshpande and Joshi 2020 also stated that necessary tools for digital platforms are needed to ensure the continuity of the communication runs smoothly. Furthermore, it also can be supported by ISAC's 2016, whereby work from home enable the flexible working time where employees can make their own schedule, which will increase their productivity. And lastly, according to Allegre and Pasama 2018, communication technology enhanced the creativity of the employees, which enable them to be more innovative and creative.
So, the next positive impact is the use of communication technology boosts the sales of e-commerce. This point can be supported by the Bati 2018, which he states that e-commerce gives a positive impact towards the developed country and the developed countries. The COVID-19 crisis has enhanced the dynamism in the use of e-commerce across the countries. As we can see now, in our country, if in the past we rarely used the e-commerce in the business, but now the situation has changed, especially with the existence of the COVID-19 pandemic. We are mostly used to all the transaction through the online system. Moreover, according to NIASI 2020, communication technology facilitates people in greater services through the applications. As now, people increasingly moving to the online system due to this pandemic, the business need to change to the new business model. If the business remains the traditional methods of the purchasing the foods, the business will unable to thrive due to the lack of response by the customer. This is because it is difficult for the customer to go to physical store to purchase the foods, especially during this pandemic COVID-19. For example, during the movement control order MCO, Foodpanda and GrabFood are getting attentions by the society, which this platform helps the customer to purchase their food through the applications. Next, according to Akram and others 2020, e-commerce allows people to fulfill their demand by having various online platform. This is because the existence of the various online platform will facilitate for people to buy the items. For example, the television shopping live show, Go Shop and CJ World Shop are getting attention by the society. This online home shopping will ease the people, especially for adults and elderly people, because they only need to watch the program and make a phone call to purchase the interested product. Lastly, according to Akram and others 2020, having a communication technology make it easier for people to buy necessary items during this pandemic COVID-19. The implementation of movement control order (MCO) has shifted in consumer trends that prompted business to explore new strategies to interact with the consumers and to facilitate this transaction process. In April, about thousands of sellers of fresh and frozen products, including the farmers and the fishermen, they began selling at their product at the Shopee.
The fourth positive impact of pandemic COVID-19 in the use of communication technology among the society are that educators and students are able to use the technology for the learning and teaching process. To support this point, according to Oyedatan 2020, stated that online teaching enable the students and lecturers to have a wide access in information. This is because technology consists of new information that enable the students and lecturer to actually gain a new knowledge that will increase and enhance the productivity of one person. Secondly, according to Oyedatan 2020, stated that virtual communication enable the students and lecturers to actually stay connected as compared to the traditional learning. This is because virtual communication enables the students and lecturers to communicate effectively for 24 hours, even though they are in different places. Thirdly, Tunke 2016 stated that communication technology can be a useful tool for the learning process during this pandemic COVID-19. This is because students and educators can stay connected even though there is a movement control order. Lastly, Woolley 2015 stated that students who are actively participate in an online learning will have a better results. This is because students who have a higher engagement will gain a higher and more new knowledge as compared to those who did not, and they will communicate this information productively using the technology.
Is many requirements needed to fulfill in ensuring the effectiveness of the teaching and learning process, which means the implementation cannot be done drastically without having a proper planning to ensure the efficient operation and gain the effective result. This can be supported as accordance to Go and Sanders 2020, where the students and educators need to have skill in using technology for the desired outcome. That is mean the educators and the students must know how to operate the system and the application that used in the virtual learning. Besides, Go and Sanders also mentioned that technical learning field is needed and advanced technology to provide virtual reality for more effectiveness in teaching and learning. This is mean that the devices that use must be updated to ensure the successfully conduct of the virtual learning. Moreover, according to Horizon 2020, sophisticated in technology is important to create learning engineering in teaching and learning, such as more advanced virtual reality. In addition, also according to Horizon 2020, the flexibility of online learning required students and educators to use modern technology, which involve high cost. This is because the technology that used is not cheap as expected, such as the monthly fees of the Wi-Fi, the price of the software, and the maintenance of the devices must take into the account in order to implement the virtual learning.
Next, the impacts of pandemic COVID-19 in the use of communication technology among society is employees unable to give full commitment in performing their work tasks. Communication technology makes it difficult for the employees to give full commitment in performing their work tasks. This can be supported by Salunke, Deshpande and Joshi 2020, which stated that employees tend to give excuses and avoid being involved in the online meeting. Other than that, according to Michelle 2018, virtual communication caused lack of support and monitoring from leaders due to no physical interaction. Furthermore, it is also can be supported by VORI 2019, which the involvement of communication technology had caused employees to have high risk of techno stress. And lastly, Salunke, Deshpande and Joshi 2020 also stated that most of the employees prefer to work in conservative way or traditional way as it allows them to interact physically with their peers.
Another disadvantages are difficulty faced by the sellers in fulfilling high demand in e-commerce during pandemic COVID-19. So as we know that the use of e-commerce has rose drastically during pandemic COVID-19 as the movement of the people are very limited due to the movement control order as well as the lockdown implemented by the government. So according to the Akram and others 2020, they claim that retailers having the difficulty in fulfilling all those demand, especially for the basic needs product as well as the product that related to the COVID-19 like hand sanitizers, glove and many more. So Hasanat and others 2020 also claim that the high demand causes the delay in delivery time, which later on causes a customer to feel mad as well as affected the operation, especially for the product that related to the COVID-19. So according to the Andrew & Co 2020, he claimed that during the pandemic COVID-19, e-commerce causes a demand for services that cannot be gained through the online platform as well as some other certain product to be declined, such as luggage, women's swimwear, men's swimwear and many more. So apart from that, AGAT 2019 also claimed that the use of online platform had causes the ethical issues to arise, like sellers might claim that they have the product even though they are not. Product received by the customer are not like what they expect, and many more. So that's all from me. I'll pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
The fourth negative impact of the pandemic COVID-19 in the use of communication technology among the society are that, due to the unexpected emergence of the pandemic COVID-19, it will bring difficulties towards the developing countries as there is no preparation are made to face this problem. To support this point, according to Auditen 2020, stated that lack of digital tools will bring difficulties towards students and lecturers to cope with an online learning. This is because a huge amount of money needed to use the best technology that are up to date to ensure the communication means are effective and efficient. Secondly, according to Levy and Ganangim 2020 stated that students are rarely involved in an online discussions. This then will make the online learning process to become more long and stressful for the students, as that it will hinder from an effective communication. Thirdly, Sutton 2020 stated that online learning at home will bring difficulties towards the students in staying focused. This is because environment at home has a lot of distractions and domestic issue that will hinder effective communication made by the students towards the lectures. Lastly, NAM 2019 stated that the changes from a traditional to an online learning will lead to many kind of security threats. The security threats are such as viruses, breaching, hacking, and many more, which will then reduce the effectiveness in communicating the information gained towards the technology platforms.
As a conclusion, this communication technology will actually brings a lot of positive impacts to the society, but people also need to bear with all this negative impact that it brings along with. Therefore, the use of this communication technology is actually a very good idea, especially during this pandemic COVID-19, where people really need to use it wisely in order to gain its benefits. So that's all from our group. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.